मध्वमस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयुतमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यं थास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यानस्मद्गुरुं सन्ततमावतमस्मि। यत् साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्वैतं नमामि स्वस्य योगिगम्यं परं खानिलाग्निब्धृतं सत्यो यथा ध्वान्तच्छिदे नमस्तस्मै हरे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. So we looked at the 56th verse. 56th verse. Shruti Vrajit. So 55, 56, due to confusion yesterday, recap. So Pratyaktvad Ati Sukshmatvad Atma Drishti Anushilanat Ato Vritti Hi Vihaya Anya Hi Aham Vritya Upalakshate. Kaha Upalakshate? Atma. So Atma Upalakshate, and we saw one meaning without the tika. Without the tika, we saw the meaning that Atma is Pratyak, Atma is Ati Sukshma, and Atma here Atma Drishti Anushilana Ahankara. But instead of splitting the hetus, we'll go with the tika. And I said this is out of Sandarbha. So there was a question there. I think we can connect it without taking it out of context. So Pratyaktvad Ati Sukshmatvat and Atma Drishti Anushilanat, we'll go with the tika which says Swa Vyatirikta Sakala Anatma Apekshaya. So we'll take Ahankara as Swa and Ahankara Vyatirikta Sakala Anatma, because this Antakarana is the closest, in which Ahankara is the closest to Vijnanamaya Kosha, is closest to the Atma. So therefore, Pratyaktvat, compared to the other Anatma, this Anatma is the closest. Avidya is also, Avidya or Ajnana Karana Sharira is the closest really, Anandamaya Kosha. But as we have seen in manifest state, in Shushupti it is not manifest. In manifest state, Swapna or Jagrata Avastha, first Kosha is Vijnanamaya Kosha, and the first identification is Ahankara. Therefore, Ahankarasya Pratyaktvad, Ahankara is Pratyak, is the innermost compared to all other Anatmas. It is not innermost like the Atma, but closest to the Atma in manifest state. And Ati Sukshma compared to every other Anatma, Ahankara is Ati Sukshma, it is very subtle. And Atma Drishti Anushilana, being very close, Ahankara is associated with the Tadatmya Sambandha as soon as one wakes up. Therefore, Atma Drishti Anushilana, and thereby Ataha Anya Vrittihi Vihaya Hi Aham Vritya Upalakshati. And we saw this Anya Vritti Ghatapatadi, Apeksha is not there. But still, why it is mentioned is because there is a question, Aham Vritya Upalakshati, because the question we can connect to the, there was a Vaktavya there. I think there was a Vaktavya. So I think I was thinking about this as to whether we can, take it within the context. Okay, so 56 here. Just give me one moment. There is. So idanim antakarana vishishte shabdasya mukhya vritya vrittihi asti ityah. Mukhya vritya. So that is the 56th. 55th said what? Idanim shabdasya atmani guna vrittimaha. So atmani ahankarasya guna vrittim. Now you look at guna vritti. So this ahankara being closest, sambandha has to be there, and thereby lakshana, upalakshate lakshana. So with aham shabda ahankara, atma is known through upalakshana. So with the shloka, you can, just with the shloka, just without the tika, shloka can also say that atma is subtle, pratyaktva ati sukshmatva, but atma drishti anushilana is there, therefore ahankara. So all these hetus should go with ahankara. So I'm making a correction. I said we can split the hetu. but in keeping with the tika, we can take ahankara itself, and to keep it in context, there was um, see, there was Ayodhati Dahake Dahan Lakshana Vrittivad Atmani Tas. This was a 54th gave an example as how the iron burns is a phrase, and although the Agni burns, iron burns is the usage. So thereby Lakshana. And here Vrittim Anya Vrittim Apesha Kechiditi Vaktavya. So there was a word Vaktavya there. So one has to maybe a little earlier. Just having a look there, Vaktavya. Just give me one moment. I may have a searchable document. Just give me a moment. So I just want to, fix this as to take it in context. That is better. Vaktavya. The Vaktavya Pratyat Vrittihi. This is 53rd end. So 53rd end or 54th beginning. So 52, 53. Yeah. So Lakshana Vritti Bhi. It is in Mula. Okay. Vaktavya. So here. Vaktavya va pratyagatmani tasya vrittirti. We can take this as Sangati. So the Sangati went by, see, the Sangati was before 54th. At 55th, there was no Sangati. So Lakshana was already mentioned here. So if we take this Sangati, this is the main Sangati, why this Sandarbha began. So the context is what? Purva Pakshi said that Aham Brahmasmi will work only when Aham is in meaning of Atma. Siddhanti says Aham is not in the meaning of Atma. Aham means Ahankara along with Atma. So initially, like Mamaham Janami, there Mam, the Aham Asmat Pada, Mam is in the meaning of Ahankara. So Purva Pakshi said that it won't work. It won't work in Aham Brahmasmi because you need Pratyagatma there. Therefore, Aham is in the meaning of Pratyagatma. So Siddhanti said that it is not so. There Aham is in the meaning of Ahankara and Chaitanya put together. This is the idea. So he has not said that. He has just said, no, there also it is Ahankara. Aham does not mean Pratyagatma. He's only said that Aham Vachyartha is not Pratyagatma. That's all. So now the Purva Pakshi said, but if the Aham Brahmasmi Vakya has to work, then Aham cannot be in the meaning of Ahankara. So if it is in the meaning of Pratyagatma, you have to establish that. Therefore, this is the Sangati. Vaktavya va Pratyagatmani tasya vrittihi. So I forgot this because in a long break, I cancelled classes for multiple days. So Vaktavya va Pratyagatmani tasya vrittihi. Tasya kasya aham shabdasya. The aham shabda, here see, yasmat aham brahmasmiti brahma aham padartha samanadikarane shravanat. Samanadikarane is aikya here. So because aikya between aham and brahma is a fact as revealed by the Shruti, aham cannot mean brahma if aham is in the sense of ahankara. Then see why samanadikarane shravana, since there is aikya, anyatha anubhavatya, aham shabda should mean pratyagatma. So anatmarthena, if it is not in the meaning of atma, then anatma arthena samanadikaranim prapnoti. This will be the effect. Yasmat aham brahma asmi iti brahma aham padartyo samanadikarane shravana anatma arthena ahankara and brahma will become one. In the case of Siddhanti's interpretation, says the Purva Pakshi. Otherwise, to avoid that, what should you do? Vaktavya va pratyagatmani tasya vritti. Aham shabdasya vritti pratyagatmani vaktavya. And thereby what? Sochate prasiddha lakshana guda vritti. So I assume that he is going into lakshana, all sorts of lakshana, but lakshanas are not being mentioned here right now. Only example is given in 54th. So in the 54th, aho dahadi vat tena lakshanam paramatmanaha. In the example only, paramatmana does not mean here Pratyagatma here. He says that in Sushupti, there is no Shuddha, there is no Antakarana. Ahankara is folded back and still ahankara has to be known. Without that, so here na ajnashisham iti praha sushupta ruttitopi ayodahadivattena lakshanam paramatmana. So there pratyagatma with along with ahankara has to be understood, because na ajnashisham, I did not know anything, to know also antakarana is needed, and to know the ajnana also you need some kind of a antakarana in the bija avastha also. So thereby na aham ajnashisham, there through lakshana it is pratyagatma again. Sakshi Chaitanya knows the ajnana. So ajnana is Atma Prakashita, Pratyagatma as Sakshi, but you have to use Lakshana. And this with this example, he extends it in 55th, and it is in continuation. So Pratyaktvad, Ati Sukshmatvad, Atma Drushti Anushilanat, Kasya Ahankarasya. Ahankara is that which is innermost compared to all other anatma. It is also anatma, right? But compared to all other anatma, it is innermost in the manifest state. Unmanifest, Anandamaya Kosha, Ajnana is closest. But Ajnana is Karana. You are looking at Karya Prapanchana. In Karya Prapanchana, Anatma Karya, there Ahankara is the closest to innermost, and it is closest Ati Sukshma, it is subtle, and it follows the Atma Drushti, mimics as though aham iti. That's Purana. Thereby giving up all other vrittis. This is, this is Sandarbhata. This is Apatata. Giving up other vrittis, Ahankara, because Ahankara is the closest. So this threw me off. This is not in context. This is not Purapakshi Samshaya as to why not other vrittis, but those are also mentioned. Aham vritti is taken into account because it is the closest, and it is still in the meaning of Ahankara only, as Vachyartha, Shakyartha, through Lakshana you land on. Aham vritya upalakshate pratyagatma. Then in the 56th verse, Atmana cha avinabhavam atva vilayam vrajet natu pakshantaram yayat atascha aham dhiya uchyate. No other possibility exists. If without Atma, anything could be. So here it is said Vidyamanam Sat. And what is that? In the Tippana, Ahankara Vastu. Ahankara Vastu, if had it been without Atma, Ahankara remains only due to Atma. Satta and Spurti is due to Atma. Without the Atma, it will be what? Avinabhavam athva vilayam vrajet. It will either attain Nasha or will take you to Sushupti. This is the idea. Natu pakshantaram yaya. There is no other possibility here. Therefore, what atahacha aham diya uchyate. Aham diya with the ahankara, aham, the notion of I alone, with the aham vritti alone, Atma is stated to be through Lakshana only. Basically what? Upalakshate, Lakshana through Lakshana, or uchyate. Aham diya Atma uchyate. Therefore, aham shabdena iti yavat. Aham diya means aham dhi hetuna aham shabdena. So this much we had seen. I hope it is clear. Sorry for the confusion. Because the broader context was not connected by me, so there was a mistake there. Because broader context starts from 54th verse, not from 55th, right? So sorry about that. So let's look at the further in 57th verse. Evam aham shabda vachyam darshitam. Aham shabda vachya is what? Ahankara. So ahankara vastu, because it in neuter, we cannot say ahankara. So ahankara vastu darshitam. Idanim prashna purvakam lakshyam darsheti. What is lakshyam? Lakshyam is what? Kidrik punha vastu lakshyam. So here, which vastu? So Atma is Brahma in Napunchakalinga, Brahma, or Atma as with Vastu, Atma Vastu. So Atma is Pullinga, so you say Atma Vastu. Aham Shabdya Vachyam is what? Ahankara Vastu. And Lakshyam is what? Through Lakshana you Lakshartha. Lakshartha is Atma Vastu. Namanibhya Pranantebhya Anyaha Yatra Nanyat Pashyati Ityadi. So in the shloka we had seen Namadibhya Paro Bhuma Nishkalo Karako Kriyaha Saeva Saevatma Vatat आत्मवताम आत्मा स्वतः सिद्ध स एव नः. सो सह एव आत्मवताम आत्मा, स एवात्मावताम आत्मा स्वतः सिद्ध स एव स नः. न अस्माकं वेदांतीनां दिस आत्मा इज स्वतः सिद्ध. Atmavatam Atma. It is the Atma, the very Swarupa, nature of all those who are seen to be sentient. For insentient also Satta Rupena, for sentient Chaitanya Rupena, it is seen more, more easy to identify in sentient. So Namaribhya Paraha Bhuma. What is this Vastu which is Lakshartha of the Aham Shabda in Aham Brahmasmi? That is beyond Nama and Rupa. Namadipya Adipatena Rupa. Satchidananda. So therefore this Ananta Tattva called Bhuma and Nishkala partless, Akaraka, not any of the Karakas, starting with Kartrukaraka, and Akriya does not have any Kriya. So therefore Akriya means Avikriya. Has no changes. Saeva. So Kutastha ityartha. Kutastha Atma. Saeva Atmavatam Atma. That alone is Atma for everyone. It is Atma for everyone, and it is Swatah Siddha for everyone also. Nobody needs to tell you that I, point out that I is known. Along with I, other things are known as I. So Shruti takes away the misunderstanding of association with others as I. When that drops off, what remains is Swatah Siddha alone. Atma is not a sadhya, it is Swatah Siddha. Siddha, not only Siddha, Swatah Siddha. Not dependent on anything or anyone. Further, what Namadibhya? What is this Namadibhya? Beginning with Nama, where does it end? So Nama Rupa we generally say, but Tikakara says Pranantebhya. All koshas really. Pranantebhya, here prana is used to mean, when we say the prana is gone, the person is dead. So we think that prana is the closest. Prana is closest to Atma. He says Atma is gone. How do you say prana? His prana is gone. Meaning Atma is gone. Therefore, prana in the Laukika, those who do not understand koshas and the Annamaya being the outermost, prana not being the innermost. Vijnanamaya kosha is the innermost. Anandamaya really, but manifested Vijnanamaya. So people talk about prana in Loka. Therefore, here Namadibhya, every Nama Rupa and ending with prana, which is the closest. So prana here means what? Sukshma Sharira really. So includes Vijnanamaya kosha also. So pranantebhya anyaha, this Kidrik Puna Vastu, this Vastu is anyat, separate. Atma is anyaha, Vastu is anyat in Napunsakalinga. So Namadibhya Pranantebhya anya. What is this anya? Shruti says yatra na anyat pashyati iti arabhya sa bhuma iti ukta lakshana kriyakaraka tatsadhyatva shunyatve api swatah siddhatvena prakashamanah वेदांतीनां न अस्माकं वेदांतीनां अभिमतः सर्वेषाम् आत्मा लक्ष्यते इत्यर्थः. So not वेदांतीनां आत्मा, for us सर्वेषाम् आत्मा. So the nah here in the shloka, nah and atmavatam is not in samanadikaranyam. Saeva nah. So this is a separate sentence. Saeva asmakam saeva swatah siddha. So the Anvaya would be what? Namadibhya Paraha Bhumaha Nishkala Akaraka Akriyaha Yaha Saeva Atmavatam Atma and Saeva Naha Asmakam Vedantinam Swatah Siddha Asti. So in two levels, Saeva for everyone, Atma of everyone. So here you will say Atma, innermost self of everyone, and for us, Swatah Siddha. For others may not be Swatah Siddha. Should be, but it has to be taught. They don't know it is a Siddha Vastu and definitely not as Swatah Siddha Vastu. Others may not know, but still it is the innermost self. Still it is Swatah Siddha. Even if they don't know, because everything starts with I. Even when you're talking about others as a third person, you're talking about others as a third, this person did that to the other person. That time, where is the I? In Vyakarana usage, you don't see, and in thinking also, it is not there. So Devadatta said something to Yajyadatta. When you are mentioning that, or you are thinking that, where is I? There is no I. But I is there as a witness. I is there as a witness. I am the one who is talking or thinking. I, the thinker or the recollector of the fact that Devadatta said something to Yajnadatta, that needs I. Without the I, that smriti is not possible. Even when somebody is talking and I am there, I am the listener. As a listener, I is there. So without I, nothing is possible. The aham is always there as sakshi. So here, therefore, sa eva naha asmakam vedantinam swatas siddhaha. And this is proven, it will be proven as well again and again, again, because everything else is what? Na iti, na iti. This is not Atma. This is not Atma. That is not Atma. What remains is Atma, which is Swatas Siddha. So here, the Shruti Pramana is given in the 7th chapter of Chandogya. Yatra na anyat pashyati iti arabhya bhuma vidya. So Narada Muni learns this vidya from Sanat Kumara. So here, yatra na anyat pashyati iti arabhya. So this ikara is not dirgha, okay? Iti ikara has gone into savarna dirgha sandhi. So yatra na anyat pashyati iti arabhya, beginning with the statement that in yatra yasyam avasthayam anyat na pashyati, kimapi anyat na pashyati. Na anyat pashyati, na anyat shrunoti, na anyat vijanati, all these, there is a, there's a refrain like that. And then, iti arabhya sabhuma. That where, in which state one does not see anything, or yasmin vishaye sati, another possibility. Yatra means when that nyate sati, when that vishaya is known, that vishaya, or sati saptami, or with respect to that vishaya alone. Alone, there is no. So yatra is taken as yasyam avasthayam, in which state, so to say state, turiya avastha, one does not see anything else. Meaning what? Atma eva pashyati. Atma rupena pashyati. Sarvam. Sarvam Atma rupena shrunoti. Everything is Atma. Ishavasyam ityadi mantra also says the same idea. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. There, beginning with that, ending with what? What is that then? So one itself is everything, means what? Bhuma, Ananta. So thereby Sabhuma. And then further what? Na alpe sukamasti. So everything else is alpa. This is Ananta. Bhuma is Ananta. Iti Ukta Lakshana. This is the Kidrishaha Laksham. Kidrisham Laksham. That was the question. So Laksham, which is known through Lakshana, that Lakshyartha of Aham Shabda is what? In Aham Brahmasmi, Aham means what? He says, Ukta Lakshanaha. This is how it is mentioned. Yatrana Anyat Pashyati Te Sabhuma. Saying Sabhuma, that is the Lakshana, that is the characteristic of, or that is the Dharma, Swarupa of the Vastu, which is Lakshyartha. And it is what further? Kriya Karaka Tatsadhyatva Shunyatve api. Swatas Siddhatvena. Because the question is what? There is no Kriya. There is no Karaka. And then Tatsadhya, Kriya Sadhya, Karaka Sadhya, Samsadhya, whether Swargadi or whether you want something which is Prapta, Karmajanya. So Kriya is Kriya Tatsadhya. Kriya Tatsadhya, it is not Kriya. And Kriya Sadhya is what? Karma Sadhya. Everything that we have seen. Apya, Vikarya, Ityadi, Samskarya, all that we have seen. It is none of that. Karaka Sadhya, Karta can get something, or through Karna you can get something, or Karma is what has to be attained. It is none of that. And it is not, if it is Karna Karaka, then Karna Karaka Sadhya. Can it be Karna Karaka Sadhya? Through some means you get it. Dwara. No. Thereby it is not sadhya. And if it is not sadhya, then it is not attainable. Maybe it is not there, shunya. What cannot, see, whatever is there with lot of effort, maybe with, many people work towards a single goal, they attain it. Asadhya also thinks, you think, oh, it is impossible, but we attain. So nothing is really impossible to attain. And now you are saying that kriya karaka tatsadhyatva shunya. It is not any of these. It is not kriya, it is not karaka, it is not kriya karaka sadhya also. Then it is not there, shunya. So Siddhanti says no. Kriya karaka tatsadhyatva shunyatve api, it is not shunya. It is swatas siddha. Swatas prakashamana. It is that which is shining all the time as a witness. So that which is not kriya or karaka or kriya karaka sadhya. One who is inquiring and refuting all of this, saying na iti, this is na kriya, na karaka, na kriya sadhya, na karaka sadhya, na iti. That entity is there. That entity is Swatasiddha, and that is I. That is the real I. So Swatasiddhatvena prakashamana. Nobody needs to tell you after you refute everything. Nobody needs to tell you that the refuter you are is not there. You yourself are not there. Nobody can tell you. Nobody telling you also, that entity is also refuted. The other is not there. So in that avastha where Bhuma is known tattva as Aham, there it is self-shining only. It is Swadasiddha. And Vedantinam Naha, Vedantinam Asmakam Abhimataha. Abhimataha as what? Sarvesham Atma Lakshyate Ityartaha. As the Atma of everyone. One Atma, not multiple Atmas. You start by saying, oh, there is Atma in that Tattva also, in that entity also. Devadatta Atma, Yajnadatta Atma, Chaitra Atma, Maitra Atma, Ityadi, Rama Atma. Whatever you have, but finally what? Finally, that Atma has Upadhi. Visheshanas are taken, the Visheshanas are really Upadhis. If you take away the Nama Rupadhi, which seem to segment Atma, you take away all those Namadibhya, Paraha. When you say that Para Atma, that Atma is one. Sarvesham Atma is one. Sarvesham Eka Atma, Sarvesham Bahuvachana. Atma is singular. So Sarvesham Atma Lakshate Ityartha. Kena. Kena Lakshate? Kena Aham Shabda. Aham Shabdena Lakshate. Aham Shabda. Aham Brahmasmi Ityatra. Aham Shabda. Ityanena Lakshate. Aham Shabdena Lakshate. So Lakshana. Through Lakshana, Ahankara Sahita. Either you say Ahankara Sahita, or if you have already taken Aham means Ahankara, then through Jal Lakshana. Otherwise, what? Bhagatyag Lakshana. You give away the Ahankara, but keep the Chaitanya, and then you land on the Chaitanya Satchidananda Brahma, which is Bhuma, Ananta, and that Atma is what? Kriyakaraka Tatsadhya, Shunya, but Swatasiddha. This is the 57th verse. Further, Purvam Drashtuhu Drushya Anve Vetirekau Darshitau. Drashtuhu. Purvam Drashtuhu Drushya Anve Vetirekau Darshitau. Here, a better patha would be in a Samastapada. Because this, I think, the Tippana has missed it. I think this is a Samastapada. Because later there will be a Samastapada, I think, further. Yes, Drashtru Drishyadi Lakshana Anve Vetirekau Vina. So Drashtru Drishya is a better patha here. I would read that because Drashtu Drishya Anve Vetirekau Darshitau. Other than this, something else has also been shown, but we can take this as well. Right now, let's hold on to this and say Drashtu Drishya Anve Vetirekau Darshitau Samprati. See, if Samprati Sakshi Sakshya Anve Vetirekau Pradarshiyate Itya. So, see, Anve Vetireka is not only of the Drishya, it is of the Drashta also. Therefore, Samastapada would be better. But anyway, the idea is what? Anve Vetireka with respect to the Drashta and Drishya, or to literally here, keeping it a Vyasta-pada, drashtu is Shashti. So, Drishya Anvaya Vyatireka of the Drashta. Meaning Drishya comes and goes, and thereby you land on the Drashta. But the fact is what? There is only Anvaya Vyatireka with the Drishya, then you can't really land on the Drashta. Drashta has Anvaya, Drishya has Vyatireka. Anvaya and Vyatireka comes and goes for the Drishya, but Drashtu has Anvaya. Therefore, the Samasta Pada would be better. Darshita, it has already been shown. Meaning what? Drishya Ahankara comes and goes, whereas Drashta remains. Right? But the fact is what? Atma is not even Drashta. So Drashta is what? Oh, the Drashta word is used only when Drishya is there. But then really it is Sakshi. So witness we say, witness consciousness. You will see Sakshi Chaitanya. So why not say Sakshi Chaitanya, right? To take away the Drashtrutvam, Pramatrutvam, you will say Sakshi Chaitanya. But Sakshi also is a Sakshi only when Sakshya is there. You cannot have Sakshi without Sakshya. Earlier we have seen Drishya cannot be without Drashtu. Object without subject is not possible. And other way around also, subject without object is not possible. They are interdependent. So these words, usage of words is interdependent. It is samsarana only. In Viveka, you do it for Anvaya Vyatireka. But then you see that I am not even a Drashta. When Drishya is not there, I am not Drashta also. Drashta continues. I continue is right. But I am not the Drashta when there is no Drishya. Therefore, Drashtrutvam me nasti. Mama Drashtrutvam nasti. I am not Drashta. Then, therefore, we say Sakshi. But these are all just words. If you say Sakshi, Samprati now. Avya, now what? Idanim, Samprati. Sakshi, Sakshya, Anvaya Vyatireko Pradarshiyate. Dvivachana. Now, Anvaya and Vyatireka are shown taking Sakshi and Sakshya into account. Not Drashta, Drishya. Sakshi, Sakshya. What is the difference between Drashta and Sakshi? Drashta is Pramata. Drashta is Antakarana Vishishta Chaitanya. Pratibimba in Antakarana. Along with the Antakarana and the Chaitanya. Bimba Chaitanya plus Madhyam. Madhyama is what? Madhyama is Darpana Tulya. Like the mirror, it is the Antakarana. And the Pratibimba that is formed. All three put together. In Vichar Sagara, this topic is discussed elaborately. All three put together is called as Drashta. So this Pratiphalita, or we say Pratiphalita Chaitanya. So that is Drashta. Now, this Drashta needs a Drishya. Thereby, with the Visheshana of the Antakarana, he has become Drashta. Without the Visheshana of the Antakarana, but Antakarana is seen only as an Upadhi, then you are a Sakshi. Then no longer Drashta, you are a Sakshi. So now Sakshi needs a Sakshya. The Upadhi is also Sakshi Prakashita. Sakshya. Now the Upadhi Antakarana is Sakshya, witnessed. The witnessed is witnessed by me, Aham. I am not a Drashta anymore. I am not seeing the Antakarana. I am associated. I am not associated with the Antakarana at all. I am Asanga Atma, but I light it up. In my presence, the Chaitanya, my Chaitanya's Swarupa Chaitanya presence, the Antakarana Ahankaradi comes to light as witnessed Sakshya. So Sakshya by me Sakshi is lit up. Sakshya is lit up by me, the Sakshi. So what is the Anvaya Vyatireka there? What comes and goes if you look into it? Pradarshete, that is being shown. Ityaha Ajnana Uttha. Very clearly, Sambandhokti, Sureshwaracharya says Ajnana Uttha. Uttha means Janya. So I do not know how this can be missed by the Tikas, the modern Tika, which says, the Ajnana, Holy Narsipura Tika. So Ajnana Uttha, Ajnana Janya. Ajnana cannot be in the meaning of Adhyasa. And Ajnana cannot be Jnana Abhava, because Abhava Uttha you cannot say. Jnana Abhava Uttha, Jnana Abhava Janya. How can you say Jnana Abhava Janya? Abhava, cannot be the cause for anything. You will become Shunyavadis, right? So this should be, again, Pramana. I am showing Pramana within the same text which is taken as Pramana, but still misinterpreted. So how can you miss this? Ajnana utta buddhyadi kartrutva. So it is very clear that Ajnana is shown as Karana. They don't accept Ajnana as Karana. Ajnana is not considered as Karana. They take Maya is Karana, Ajnana is not Karana. Maya is also same as Ajnana. It is, Maya. What is Maya? Maya is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas combination. What is Avidya? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas combination. There is no difference between the two. In Eka Jivavada, one and the same. Or in Nana Jivavada, you will say Maya Ansha as Ajnana. You cannot separate them out. You cannot have multiple, Ajnana as not as Hetu, but Ajnana is needed. Then Ajnana word itself is not needed. Ajnana Uttha has been mentioned as Karana. Every Vedanta text in Orthodoxy talks about Ajnana as Hetu for Samsarana. Because it is accepted by everyone that Maya, Nana Jivavada, Maya is not taken away by, Maya is Vikshepa Rupa, if you say. Avarna Rupa, Ajnana is taken away. But Maya Vikshepa, whereby Prapancha is visible, that is not taken away. Even after Jnana, Pratiti of Prapancha will be there. Atmatvena, all right, but Prapancha is still seen because Vyavahara is there. Thereby Maya is not taken away. So what is taken away is Ajnana. How can you say Ajnana is not Karana? If you take away Ajnana and the Samsara Nivarana takes place, Mukti is the resultant, then Ajnana has to be there, accepted as Karana. So this is the Pramana for that. Another Pramana, we have seen so many. So in the same text where, they say that other than Sureshwaracharya, Shankaracharya and Sureshwaracharya, nobody is, nobody is in line with Shankara Bhashya. That's what they think. Meaning, other than Sureshwaracharya, nobody is in line with Shankara Bhashya. This is their thinking. Very, it's a cult, to put it, in the raw words, it's a cult. It gives a high that, okay, thousands of years nobody knew, but, this person came to know, and he is our guru or Paramaguru or whatever, but it is all, insult to the Sampradaya from which we have, rich Sampradaya from which we have, received all this. And it does not work for us. It will not work for us. We have to hold on to how the Tattva is revealed to us. The Prakriyas have to be held on to, whichever, be it single Prakriya, whatever works for us, that has to be held on to. Others should not be set aside as saying that they are all wrong. They are not wrong. They help others. Maybe it does not help me. It will help someone else. So Prakriyas, as many, Sureshwaracharya Bhagavan himself says in his Vartika, I think in Brihad Vartika, that Yaya Bhavet Pumsa Yutpatti Pratyagatmani Sasayaiva Sadhvi. That Prakriya is Sadhu Prakriya, which helps you go into Pratyagatma. Thereby also, what Pratyagatma means what? In the meaning of Brahma. Thereby Twampada is difficult. Therefore he says Vyutpatti Pratyagatmani. Pratyagatmani is what? This Sakshi word is used for Pratyagatma, Kutastha Ityartha. But we'll see Sakshi and Sakshi Anvaya also, Anvaya Vyatireka. So here Ajnana Utta Buddhyadi Kartrutva Upadhim Atmanam Parigrihya Eva Anvaya Vyatireka Aham Sukhi Dukhi Cha Iti Ahankaradehe Anatma Dharvatvam Uktam. So Drishya Anvaya Vyatireka. So Drishya comes and goes. And Drashta is separated out. Drashta is separated out I from Ahankara. That much has been shown. So here what? Ajnana Uttha. Ajnana is Karana for Buddhyadi Kartrutva Upadhi to be Janya Uttha. So Ajnana's Karya. Ajnana is Karana Sharira. Karya is what? Buddhyadi, Sukshma Sharira. Kartrutvadi, Karya wise, functionality wise, Kartrutva, Ham Karta Ityadi. All this dharma is there in the Antakarana as Aham Karta, and with Tadatmya Sambandha, I think I am the Karta, not the Ahamkara. So Upadhim Atmanam Parigrihya. This Upadhi is taken as Atma. That Atma which is with Tadatmya Sambandha with the Upadhi. Upadhim Atmanam Parigrihya as Atma Parigrihya. Sarvata, meaning in both ways. Adhyasa has taken place. Having accepted this as me, real me, as an axiom, Anubhava Siddha, no, no, I am Karta, I did all this, thereby having taken all that as a fact, Parigriya eva, then Anvay Vetireka Abhyam, this is Parigriya means Adhyarupasthaniya, then Apavada, Anvay Vetireka Abhyam, seeing that, no, but that is not true because the buddhyadi kartrutva adipadena sukitva dukkhitva, all that is there. So sukitva dukkhitva which is there in me, if it is really me, then I should always be sukhi or always be dukkhi, always be lobhi, kami, ityadi, krodhi. No, but these dharmas come and go. Therefore, aham sukhi, aham dukkhi, with aham samanadikarane as sukhi, dukkhi, how does that take place? Iti ahankarade anatma dharmatva muktam, taking this into account as upadhi. They are upadhi, they come and go. It is not me. Upadhim, atmanam upadhim parigriya. Atma, with the upadhi it is taken. Sopadika ityartha. Sopadika atma, not sopadika brahma, that is Ishvara. Sopadika atma is what? Jiva. And thereby aham sukhi dukhi cha iti ahankarade anatma dharmatvam. It is upadhi, it is not aham there, aham sukhi, aham dukhi. That aham is not I, real I. That is antakarana there. So antakarana has sukitva, dukkhitva, sukha dukha, therefore sukitva, dukkhitva should be there. And thereby, looking at the upadhi, I am separated out as myself. Further in the, this is, yeah, further, केवलात्म अभ्युपगमे अशक्यत्वात्. Why? केवलात्म अभ्युपगमे अशक्यत्वात्. Atma, केवलात्मा is asanga. Neither sukhi not dukhi. No krodha, lova, moha ityadi are possible. Therefore, kevalatma abhyupagame, if you accept it as a kevalatma dharma, it is not possible. Ashakyatvat, impossible. And phalabhavacha. And if you accept it, what will you get? If you are sometimes sukhi, sometimes dukhi, then that will become your very nature. If it is the very nature, then swarupa, there is no mukti from swarupa. From Swarupa, there can be no Mukti because Swarupa is the Mukti Avastha. Mukti Avastha is Swarupa Avastha, being in your own Swarupa. If that is Sukhitva Dukkhitva is your own Dharma, then in Moksha also it will be there. So Phala Bhavacha, there won't be any Phala. What will you get? Accepting that. Further, Atha Idanim Avidya Parikalpitam Sakshitvam Ashritya. Now what is being done? Atha Idanim. Thereafter now, Avidya Parikalpitam. This is not the Tika word, okay? This avidya parikalpitam, what samasa will you do? If people have studied Vyakarana, the only samasa possible, possibilities are around avidyayaha parikalpitam, Shashti, or Tritiya. When you better that Shashti, you will get Tritiya, avidyaya parikalpitam. So avidya, if it is avidya is, then nai is abhavarte. Then vidya abhava. Abhava is the meaning of avidya. So you have to say vidya abhavena parikalpitam. What kind of tritiya would it be? It is hetu. Abhava cannot become hetu for anything. So ridiculous. This is Sambandhokti. Bhagavan Sureshwaracharya himself has used these words. You cannot go wrong. Of course, he has used, at times he has used avidya and adhyasa in samanadikaranam, but that is only to show in the manifest state. We have seen again and again. Because ajnana is so subtle, it is very difficult to, be talked about all the time. Therefore, in Karya Avastha, you identified, when I am having adhyasa as aham, then only there is samsara. In Sushupti, I don't see samsara. I have to interpret samsara because I have woken up into this samsara. I am still dukhi. In Sushupti, I had so much of sukha, or at least no dukkha. I had no dukkha in Sushupti, and now I have dukkha. So nothing happened in Sushupti really. So my trouble is not with Sushupti. My trouble is now, here and now, it's Swapna and Jagrada Avastha. In Swapna, I, get sukha at times, and sometimes I get these, nightmares, so dukkha. In Jagrada Avastha, the entire life is, seems like a nightmare at times when I go to difficult times, through difficult times. Good times don't last so much. I want to hold on, but I can't hold on. So this is my trouble. Therefore, what? Adhyasa avastha only. Adhyasa is not ajnana. Adhyasa, the word is used. Ajnana for adhyasa, adhyasa for ajnana, all right. They are interchangeable usages, but you have to make a differentiation as they have karya karana bhava. Right? So therefore, atha idanim avidya parikalpitam. Clear words. Avidya parikalpitam sakshitvam ashritya. Sakshitvam is also avidya kalpitam. So there are two ways to read this. Okay. Sakshitvam ashritya idanim avidya parikalpitam kartrutvadi ashesha parinama pratishedartham aha. That's one possibility. But we can take sakshitvam ashritya also. Initially, what? Sakshitvam ashritya, everything else is what? Kartrutvadi ashesha. Ashesha, everything, sarvam, is parinama. Parinama of avidya only. Kartrutva, parinama word has also been used here. Kartrutvadi ashesha parinama pratishedartham, to refute all of that. That is not really me. Ajnana karya, that is not me. I am not karta. I am not bhokta. I am not krodhi, lobhi, mohi, sukhi, dukhi, jnani. None of these words can apply to me. Sakshi, drashta, Shrota, Manta, none of these, all these are Antakarana Dharma, they are Kartrutvadi Ashesha Parinama, Pratishedartham, but Kim Ashritya, Sakshitvam Ashritya. Sakshitvam Ashritya means what? Taking into, because to refute everything, I need something to hold on to. So I say that I am none of these. Why? Because I am a witness consciousness. That's one possibility. Second is what? This Sakshitvam is avidya parikalpitam as well. Sakshitvam is also avidya parikalpitam. Sakshitvam is not real. I use it as a tool, and avidya parikalpitam tool only, not Chaitanya, which is avidya aparikalpitam. Avidya is not the karana. So avidya akalpitam. That is the Chaitanya. I don't take hold of Chaitanya and then refute everything else. I take hold of Sakshitvam and refute everything. That Sakshitva is also parikalpita. The Shabda. Sakshi is not parikalpita. The word Sakshi, that word is parikalpita. By avidya, Sakshi word is, because Namadi, Sakshi is also part of Nama. Namadibhya para. Namadibhya para is Atma. That I don't hold on to Chaitanya and refute everything. Chaitanya Shabda, right? Sakshi as Sakshi Shabda. So Sakshitvam in me is parikalpita. So that is the second interpretation. And thereby what? Kartrutvadi ashesha parinama pratishedartham aha esha ityadi. We look at this in the next part. There is a long tika on this. Long in the sense comparatively. So Ajnana Uttha. We have done this. Ajnana Uttha. Let me see the next pratika, whether it is before shloka or after shloka. Kevala itiya atha idanim dinesha sarvadayam vrittam. So here is the shloka. So we look at, we'll see the order tomorrow. Somehow we'll make sense of this as to the shloka first and then the others, or we look at the tika, that part which is in the sangati, and then look at the shloka. Yat sakshat satchidanandam pratyagadvem akriyam tannamami nusiyasya yogi gamyam param padam. Namaste. Dhanyavad. Any questions? I hope there is no confusion on what I said yesterday about the 55th verse. So revisit. If you have any questions, do ask. I'm really sorry for that, interpretation which is against the tika. So I went without the tika. I went a little off and missed the sangati which was in 54th. I hope it is clear. If you have any questions, please do ask. Okay. Namaste. Dhanyavada.
Namaste.